So,
so, okay. So I understand how I was going to ask you got into the construction industry. So I understand how you kind of fell into that, but how did you end up picking your business in that industry? The specific niche of GPR, ground penetrating radar. Like, how did you end up with doing that?
Yeah. So I had some conversations and decided that there was definitely a niche in Denver for that, for the GPR scanning. Not a lot of companies do it. There's some big ones that do it, but I heard consistently that they were not doing it well, or they're 3 weeks out before they can get on a job site. So I talked to Hilti, some reps there, and decided to start the company just with that, with the scanning. And then as I was, on a job site, the clients were like, "Hey, well, you're here." They asked my technician, "Can you just do a core drill while you're here?" And so I was like, "Sure, I'll buy a little core rig and throw it in the van." But now I do so much more coring even than the scanning now. So I kind of just took that and ran with it. And there's such a huge market for it. And it's nice that I can send one technician out and they can do both. They can scan and do the cutting. So it's pretty seamless.
Yeah. So obviously it's technical and what things are. Most people maybe never even heard of GPR or core drilling. So just real quick, just for context, give a little synopsis of the two.
Sure. So GPR is it's scanning concrete. So more or less, it's a tiny little machine that will say it shows parabolas. So it sends radar into concrete, and if it's just concrete, you're seeing the same parabolas on the screen. If it's sensing a different material in there, it will change the parabolas. So really, the technician has to dissect that and understand, what the concrete ones look like versus something else. So more or less it says there's something here, you can safely cut here. Then you're not hitting a post-tension cable or certain things. And then core drilling is the circular cutting in floor or wall in concrete. So I'm on think of a high-rise building. I'm going in, cutting all the holes in the floor or wall for more or less mechanical or electrical companies or general contractors. And then they come in after and fill it all up with their stuff.
So how did you fall into these? Like, did you know how to do any of this before you started your business?
No, not at all.
So how did you learn how to do these things?
So I really, like I said, I talked to Hilti, I use their core rigs and their GPR scanners. So they really trained me, my technicians. And then as I got into coring, I sought out people that have been doing this for a long time in the industry. So my employees have been doing this a very, very long time. They know more about it than I do. So I really, now I've been doing this long enough, but I rely heavily on them to go out to a job site and assess it. And if they're seeing something different, they're communicating with me, the client, things like that. And really we're, talking through those things with, communicating with each other to have the best result.
And then I just love this because we're talking about how you built this business, right? So then how'd you get your first clients?
Literally, it was my first employee. I said, "Here's a bunch of business cards, drive around. And when you see a construction site, you go on and you pass out your card. You pass out my card." And so literally the first clients, that's exactly how we got them. And then since then, honestly, the company has over doubled each year. So we've had very large growth. And really now the only way we get clients is word of mouth and referrals. And also I go out, to different events or things like that. And I want to go shake people's hand and talk to them and get to know them and let them ask me questions. So they put a face to the company and then, a name, and they get to know my employees as well. So really it's just, our clients have now built relationships with us. That's all I focus on, honestly. That's how we get referrals. That's how people are like, "Oh my God, we didn't even know you existed. And why did we wait so long to come to you?" So we've been received very well.
So from Spanish teacher in several years to fast growing large construction company, not knowing anything about it, getting into it and building it out. I have said on this show so many times over the years that anything can be learned. And that if you want bad enough, you can get it and you can figure it out. Right.
Yes.
And so you are the epitome of that. And I love that.